It was the third moon of summer. Pain and sorrow, like the wounds of many arrows, pierced the heart of Strong Deer. Days and days he walked in the forest, and each day he heard thunder. Was the thunder speaking to him? Its voice, no matter how loud, seemed more like a great silence. Day after day after day, he burned the sweet grass. This, he believed, an Indian boy must do to find his spirit. He wanted the spirit of the deer, but only the cry of Wendigo. Wendigo the wolf came back to him from the forest. Even in sleep, in his dreams, the deer evaded him. Why? Why? Why couldn't he find his spirit? Why? Why? Too well, he thought, he knew the answer. Many years before, as a small boy, he had come to the forest. He found colorful trinkets hung among some branches. He didn't realize it was the sanctuary of a man who had hung the trinkets, hoping to please the spirits. The man became very angry and put a curse on Strong Deer's family. A hex, they called it. It was this curse that now gave the boy his deepest fear. That's why his father deserted his family. That's why his mother became ill. This very day, she was flown to the hospital far away in River City. His mother, he loved her so much. He could not bear to be at home when they took her away. He was sure he would never see her again. And it was his fault. All his fault. He needed his mother, for he loved her as a fawn loves the mother deer. His father and mother gone, Strong Deer's little home was full of strange and frightening silence. Even the voiceless thunder seemed unable to break that silence. Was there any way he could help his mother? The axe. He had seen the village medicine man look into the future by polishing an axe. Perhaps he could also look into the future. What would happen to his mother? What would happen to him? Would he ever be free from the curse that had been put upon him? Would he ever find his spirit? Would it be the spirit he yearned to find? The spirit of the deer? Then a wild mink appeared in the window, momentarily trapped between the glass and the plastic outer covering. Was he to have the spirit of the mink? That would never do. The curse. It was because of the curse. This was where Cunning Fox came into the young boy's life. Cunning Fox lived with his half-sister on one of the islands in Big Lake. Cunning Fox was a mink rancher, and one morning as he cooked fish for his mink, Strong Deer arrived at the island. A friend of Cunning Fox, learning that he was looking for a man to work for him, recommended Strong Deer. Cunning Fox needed a man to work, not a boy. But his friend persuaded Cunning Fox to give Strong Deer a chance.
You are Strong Deer.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to our island. I am Cunning Fox. This is my half-sister. Here you will sleep. Our home is now your home.
The mink ranch had large sheds full of cages. As Strong Deer walked about the ranch that first day, he was very confused. Was he to have the spirit of the mink? One of the tame minks grown in these pens? It amused him to see how Cunning Fox had trained one of his dogs to help catch any of the animals that got out of the cages. A wild mink in the forest would know how to get away from a dog.
Are you mad at me?
Cunning Fox warned Strong Deer not to be careless around the mink. A bite could be very serious.
Have you ever been bitten?
No, and I never want to be.
Cunning Fox placed long nets out in Big Lake. He caught many fish in these nets. Most of them were suckers, an ugly fish people do not eat, but good food for mink. Most fish can be fed uncooked to the mink, Strong Deer learned, but suckers must be cooked. If you feed uncooked suckers to the mink, Cunning Fox warned, it could make the mink very sick. They might even die. Strong Deer enjoyed being on the island much more than he thought he would. But Cunning Fox had some strange ways. Each day he would read words from a special book. God's book, Cunning Fox called it. Strong Deer had never heard such words before. Never in all his life. Strong Deer was so confused he might have run away from the island. But with each passing day, he found Cunning Fox to be a man of much kindness. And Cunning Fox was pleased with him, for Strong Deer worked hard and quickly learned the ways of mink ranching. When they went out to look after the nets, Cunning Fox often went out of his way to show Strong Deer new and interesting things. But though love for Cunning Fox began to grow in Strong Deer's heart, and though he enjoyed the island more with each passing day, the boy could not be really happy. He worried about his mother, far away at the hospital. And what about the Hex? Would Strong Deer seek happiness on the island, only to one day find great tragedy? And what about the strange book, and the strange things Cunning Fox often talked to him about?
How good God is, creating a world that can bring forth such wonderful food. It's time to turn on the radio.
Of a house.
And what was this? These songs from the radio, so much like the words he was hearing again and again from the lips of Cunning Fox. Cunning Fox spoke of faith in God through believing in someone called Jesus. What did it mean? Was this why Cunning Fox was such a good man? So kind to everyone? Often when he finished work, Strong Deer slipped away into the woods on the island. Many animals lived in the woods. They would swim over from the mainland. Might he find his spirit from one of them?
You seek for your spirit? When I was a boy, I gathered sweet grass, braided it as you were doing, and burned it with the magic potion, seeking to find my spirit. I found the spirit of the fox. For many years, I worshiped the spirits, but my life was full of sin. I was a bad man. Then someone told me about Jesus. Jesus is for the Indians too, Strong Deer. Only He can take away our sins and give us peace in our hearts.
What did such words mean? Who was Jesus? Why did He make such a difference to the way Cunning Fox lived? One day, Cunning Fox told Strong Deer he was going to the village on the mainland to buy supplies. Strong Deer could come along if he wished. But there was much work to do in the garden, so Strong Deer stayed home. When Cunning Fox returned, something happened which taught Strong Deer an important lesson about what it means to be a Christian.
Did you order this bag of flour?
No, I thought you did.
I didn't order it.
You didn't pay for it?
No.
You're lucky. That bag of flour didn't cost you a penny.
The boy at the store must have put it into our boat by mistake. We'll return it to the store on our next trip.
Return the flour to the store? At first he thought Cunning Fox must be joking. If someone gave you something so valuable by mistake, why give it back? Yet Strong Deer knew it was good to be honest. His mother had tried to teach him that. Was it Jesus who helped Cunning Fox be so honest? There was also something else that day.
Did you tell Strong Deer about the letter?
Oh, I forgot. It's in the box.
I think it's from your mother.
His hands trembled as he took the letter. Perhaps there was good news. He often heard Cunning Fox pray for his mother. Had the prayers been answered? Was she getting well? The letter hadn't even been written by his mother. One of the nurses wrote it. The words were like angry thunder from the skies, like lightning striking a great tree in the forest.
Is something wrong?
His mother's very ill, very weak.
I have an idea. We have a good supply of fish. My sister can feed the mink for a day. Why don't you and I go on a fishing trip? Ouch! Easy now. Don't lose him. Careful.
There he is.
We have a great God. He made all this beauty we see, and he made us so we can enjoy it. God has a plan for your life, strong dear. Seek only to know him and his plan for you. Before we go to sleep, let us talk to God.
Many days passed. No further word came from the hospital. Strong Deer was very worried, and Cunning Fox, understanding, showed much kindness to the boy.
I've got to get to River City and buy some more gloves. They didn't have any at the village. He bit me. Here I was telling you to be careful.
The hex. The curse. As Strong Deer dressed himself the next morning, he wondered if his happy days on the island were now gone forever. The mink bite was giving the strong man much pain.
Shall I go lift the nets?
I can help you.
I can do it alone.
Even as fear struck deep into the boy's heart, he worked harder and harder, taking over all the chores with the mink. This pleased Cunning Fox very much.
What would I do without your help? You're a good boy, Strong Deer. You can have a happy life. I pray much for you. I pray that you may not fall into evil ways, as I once did. Never let whiskey touch your lips. Let Jesus come into your heart. He will keep your life clean.
You must get to a doctor.
I can take care of things on the island till you get back.
Was this the beginning? The beginning of the end for him? Would Cunning Fox die as well as his mother? And would it all be his fault? Because of the hex? The curse? That night he had a very bad dream.
Doctor, how is Strong Deer's mother?
She is dead.
Dead?
Dead.
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 It is Strong Deer's fault.
Dead.
It is Strong Deer's fault.
Dead.
Strong Deer put a hex on his mother.
Dead.
It's your fault, Strong Deer.
It is Strong Deer's fault.
It is Strong Deer's fault. It is Strong Deer's fault. It is Strong Deer's fault.
Strong Deer put a hex on his mother. Strong Deer put a hex on his mother.
It's your fault, Strong Deer.
He had never in all his life been so frightened, so worried. He almost wished there had never been the day when he was born. Could God help him? Or was the curse too great? He wondered if perhaps he might find an answer in the Bible, God's book.
Salvation comes from trusting Christ. It is as near as your own hearts and mouths. For if you tell others with your own mouth that Jesus Christ is your own Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. It is by believing in his heart that a man becomes right with God.
Many of our ways are good ways. When I was a boy, I gathered sweet grass. I burned it with potions, seeking to find my spirit. I thought I found the spirit of the fox. For many years, I worshiped the spirits. But my life was full of sin. I was a bad man, Strong Deer. Then someone told me about Jesus. Only he can take away our sin and give us peace in our hearts.
What was wrong with the mink? Many were dead, others dying. Then he remembered something. There had been one bucket of uncooked suckers. Carelessly, he had fed the meat, uncooked, to the mink. Familiar sound. Cunning Fox's boat.
Strong Deer! Strong Deer! Strong Deer!
Cunning Fox saw that the boy had been reading the Bible. Joy came to the good man's heart. But he also sensed something might be wrong.
Strong Deer! Strong Deer!
He called and called, but there was no answer.
Come to me!
Did you see him?
Some of the mink are poisoned.
Fox! Look!
Far out in the water, Cunning Fox's sister was sure she saw the boy swimming. He couldn't possibly make it to the mainland.
I made a mistake. The mink are all dying.
But it is not correct that the mink are all dying. Apparently, you only mixed a few uncooked suckers with the other meat. Only a few have died. Several others are sick, but they will get well. It is a small loss, Strong Deer. But even if it were a big loss, I would forgive you. You made an honest mistake. You have learned much from that mistake. We have some good news for you. We saw your mother. The doctor told her she is much better.
Cunning Fox forgave him. And his mother? How could it be?
There is no hex on your mother. She really is going to get well. It is true the Bible speaks of evil spirits. But through Christ, we can break away from the power of darkness. I was once like you. As I told you before, I burned the magic potion and sweet grass. I believe the incense would please the spirits. As I talked to your mother, I learned why your people think there is a hex on your family. That's right. When you were a little child, I was the one who found you in the place where I worshipped. I was the one who frightened you. I'm sorry. I was a very evil man. I fell deeper and deeper into a sinful life. But then I met Jesus Christ. The Bible tells us when someone becomes a Christian, he becomes a brand new person inside. He is not the same anymore. Yes, I'm the one that said he would put a hex on your mother. But down at the sanitarium in River City, I was also the one God permitted to tell your mother about the Lord Jesus. She opened her heart to him. Your mother has become a Christian. She is praying for you. If you decide you too want to become a Christian, I will help you.
Forgiveness. No curse. It hardly seemed possible. Yet deep in the boy's heart, he began to understand. There was an answer to his problems. There was a way to happiness. Cunning Fox had found it in Jesus. Now he must find Jesus, too.